Hello and welcome back to the next episode of Daily News Analysis of the Hindu newspaper for UPSC 2025. So it is the 6th of July. So today we are going to discuss 8 articles which were in the newspaper which are very important for us to discuss because they might have some impact on our exams. With that, I would like to introduce this channel to you guys if you are the first time visitor. We had started this initiative from the 1st of July in which we discuss the most important articles which would be useful for us, and in the evening session what we do, we give you the quiz session in which we upload a video which contains at least 10 questions, in which 5 are from the current affairs session, by which would help you revise the current affairs which we had discussed, and we will give you the idea how the questions could come in the exam. And we discuss the previous year questions so that will give you the proper idea and understanding of the question papers in the upcoming exam. और दूसरी बात, by understanding the news analysis and those previous year question papers, it would help you save a lot of time, and you would divert your time in preparing your static part in a better way. So before starting this discussion, I would like to request you guys, please, if you are watching this video, please watch till the end. I know maybe introduction is not that good, but trust me, when we start, discussing it, you would definitely like it. Or दूसरी बात, please do subscribe this channel, as when I see the increase in my subscription, that boosts my confidence, and that gives me the motivation to work more hard and give the best material possible. So without any waste of the time, let's start the discussion here. Today we have 8 articles which are read as the religion and the judiciary. In this article we will discuss the religion in India and how does the constitution protects it, and how does the judiciary gets involved in it. We would discuss the essential features concept in it, and we would discuss few of the judgments which were very controversial then. Then after we will go to the next topic. We will jump from India to the UK, where the Labour Party has won. We will discuss its impact on India and its impact on the Indian foreign policy. After that, if you remember that from I guess 2 to 3 days back, we discussed about the resurgence of far right. Now we will discuss it in the context of Indian interests. Then we will put some light on the PM's visit to Russia. What does it signify? What impact it has on the perspective of the West, and what are the things to be discussed in this visit? After that, we would discuss the India's domestic defense, rise in India's domestic defense. We would discuss some data. Then we would discuss about the asphavirate, which is a African swine virus fever. We would discuss about it. Then we would discuss about the People's Biodiversity Report, which is the first of its kind developed in India, produced in India, in Kerala. We would discuss about it. Then after we would discuss about the India-Russian defense deal, in which we would discuss about AK-203 rifles. So without any delay, let's move to our first article of today's discussion. Here we have to discuss about the religion and the judiciary. The author tries to, मतलब कि जो author का motive है इस article में, वो कहना चाहता है कि मतलब कि how constitution should be put ahead of everything. जो ये मतलब कि हमें essential religious practice का एक एक चीज़ पाई जाती है religions में कि this thing is essential for any person following any religion. For example, in Hindus there might be something essential for them. In Muslims there are something essential for them. In Jains there is something essential for them. In Sikhs there is something essential for them. So मतलब कि judiciary should not, what the author मतलब in nutshell में वो क्या कहना चाहता है. First I would give the brief idea about the article, then we would discuss it in detail. वो author कहना चाहता है कि judiciary should not be the one to explain or to highlight the essential features of the religion. Judiciary should stay away from it. But what author tries to say is, if there is a conflict between religion and the constitution, if there is any conflict between it, for example, whether it would be the essential feature of the religion or anything, then the constitution should prevail. So this is what author tries to say here. दूसरी बात, author talks about the inconsistencies in the judgment. For example, he discusses about few judgments, how in Supreme Court they were पहले उनको बताया गया, yes, in high courts they were judges, different judgments were given in different cases, and in Supreme Court there were different judgments. So we will discuss about it. First, what is religion? It is very, if we talk about the religion, it is very personal thing. You know, it is very personal. It is something which we have the idea of that we should not discuss it with the people, but it is very wrong idea. Religion is something to be discussed with. It gives you the personal idea of the person, personal idea of the community. और इससे क्या मिलता है कि you if you know the religion of the people, you get the idea what to talk. You draw the boundaries yourself, and you know what are the things which we should discuss. So मतलब कि इस पॉइंट का कहने का मतलब है कि रिलीजन मतलब कि उस जन उसके बारे में बात करना, इट इज़ वेरी नॉर्मल. इट इज़ नॉट समथिंग टू हाइड. यूजुअली हमें कहा जाता है फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग दैट वी शुड नॉट डिस्कस मच अबाउट रिलीजन, बट टू मी इट इज़ नॉट द गुड आइडिया. If you follow something, you should be allowed to discuss it, and by discussing that thing, it gives the idea, or it gives the perspective which the others should follow. It gives the idea that this thing is important for him and it should not be touched. So religion is something very much personal. It is the belief that everybody has some religion, whether they call it spirituality or their belief system, but everybody has something, in especially in our country. So this religion, it is about the following. So in simple words, I would say that religion is the personal faith of a person that he follows. And you know, this religion, it may lead to the superstitions, it may lead to the superstitious thinking, and this religion, it may lead to the spirituality. You know, the belief system the person has. But here comes the constitution. The constitution, it protects whether whatever the reality of the religion is, whether you know, if we would take the present situation or present thinking of the people, whether they what the people think about religion, irrespective of that, the constitution gives us the freedom to practice the religion of our choice. But at the same time, we should know that there are some things which we follow in our religion, in our religions, that those things should be in line with the constitution. The author here tries to say is that if you are following any religion and there are some practices in them that are not in line with the constitution, whether those practices are the essential features of the religion, or they are the common features of the religion, or they are not that essential, those features who are not in line with the constitution, they stand nil under the eyes of the constitution. So this is what author tries to explain. He further talks about the inconsistencies of the judiciary. What author tries to say is that the judiciary, when it comes to the, what author explains here, he says that when it comes to the essential religious practices, the judiciary should not interfere in it because it has been very inconsistent with it. For example, we would take the case of Anga Pradasham in Tamil Nadu, where the Dalits, they would roll over the plant, where the Brahmins or higher class Brahmins, they would eat food on that, and Dalits will roll over them. And this seems very inhumane practice if we would look it in the different perspective. And what the High Court High Court said about it, they said that it is very much disrespectful towards the people. It is degrading them. So they translated it as unconstitutional. But the person he P. Naveen Kumar, he went to the Supreme Court. He challenged this. He told that Supreme Court, it is the essential feature of my religion. First, he said that if a court is forbidding me to do this, they are violating my freedom of movement, Article 19. They said that they are violating my privacy, Article 21. So at the end, the Supreme Court gave the judgment in his favor. The point here is, if we analyze this judgment, what the author is trying to say is that this, if we would look this case in a different perspective, it was violating the Article 17, which is untouchability. It was promoting a kind of untouchability that the Dalits has to roll over the where the Brahmins would eat, जहाँ पे Brahmins खाना खाते थे उसके मतलब वो पत्तों पे उनके ऊपर से उनको रोल करना था. So author जो इस आर्टिकल का कहना चाहता है कि he is trying to explain that the judges or the court should not मतलब कि जो they should not discuss about the essential features, और वो खुद ही क्लेम नहीं करनी चाहिए कि फलानी चीज़ essential feature है या कुछ. वो बस इतना देखे कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को सुपीरियर रखे, गिव द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन द हाईएस्ट पोजीशन, और देखो कि कहाँ पे कोई चीज़ जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के खिलाफ हो रही है उसको नल करो, उसको ख़त्म करो, और जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के इन लाइन होता है. फॉर एग्जांपल, देयर आर डिफरेंट प्रैक्टिसेस व्हिच डिफरेंट रिलीजन्स फॉलो एंड दे आर इन लाइन विद द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, दे हैव नथिंग टू डू विद इट, लेट देम फॉलो. बट this act, it was actually against the untouchability. So the author here tries to explain that the judges should not interfere in the idea of essential religious practice. Let it leave it aside and see what the constitution says, and with respect to the constitution, if anything follows the constitution, have it. If anything is not followed by the constitution, then leave it. So in simple terms, this is what the article says. I hope you understood it. Let's recap it. I will give you the brief idea about it. First, religion is the personal belief of a person, whatever he believes in. He may believe in nothing, that nothing is everything. He may believe in everything. He may believe whatever he wants to believe. बट जब इंसान किसी रिलीजन को फॉलो करता है, इट लीड्स टू दिस, एक तो ये स्पिरिचुअलिटी देती है, विच इज़ गुड थिंग, विच इज़ वेरी पर्सनल. एंड दूसरी चीज़, इट मे लीड टू द सुपरस्टिशंस, मतलब कि अब मैं ये करूँगा, फॉर एग्जांपल इट मे लीड टू दोज activities which are against the humanity. For example, sati system was there. So these things the religion may lead. So to control those things which can harm the humanity, then constitution comes. There is a difference between the secularism in our country and the secularism in the West. In West, religion is put aside, totally different. But in our country, the authorities can interfere in the religion. So there is something different secularism we follow here, and that is the best type of secularism. In fact, अगर हम वेस्ट का सेक्युलरिज्म देखेंगे तो दैट इज एक्चुअली द क्रिश्चियनिटी. वो एक मतलब कि उनका एक ही रिलीजन है, दैट इज क्रिश्चियनिटी. बट इन आवर कंट्री वी हैव different types of religion and every religion is respected. So with that respect, अगर हम कहाँ पे थे कि अगर किसी रिलीजन में कोई ऐसी चीज़ है which is degrading the humanity, which is something against the human nature or against human respect, so that should be उसको ख़त्म करना चाहिए. But here comes the concept of essential feature of the religion. तो हियर ऑथर क्या कहना चाहता है कि कोर्ट्स इंटरफेयर नहीं करनी चाहिए एसेंशियल फीचर ऑफ द रिलीजन, इट शुड नॉट बी दैट एंटरटेन्ड बाय द कोर्ट्स, बिकॉज हर एक कहेगा दिस फलानी चीज इज एसेंशियल फॉर मी, दैट चीज इज एसेंशियल फॉर मी, for everybody everything is essential for them. So they say that this feature should be left alone, but what should be kept is the constitutionality, the superiority of the constitution. If anything which is in line with the constitution, that should be kept, and anything which is against the constitution, that should be cut out, उसको खत्म करना चाहिए. This is what the author here tries to explain. I hope I was able to explain it in the better way. I tried to make it simple. I hope I succeeded in it. Then he further talks about the inconsistencies in the judgment. We discussed about the Anga Pradasham, how High Court first said that it is against the constitution, then how Supreme Court ruled against that when the P. Parvi Samkumar, P. Naveen Kumar, he went to the Supreme Court and said that this is the essential feature of my religion. You are violating my, by not allowing me to do this, you are violating my privacy. So this topic is actually very controversial topic. There would be different types of discussions in it. There would be different ideas put forward in it. So you as an IAS aspirant, if such question is asked to you in exam, you have to be very much neutral. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to criticize too much, and you have to give the scientific temperament in it. Remember that, give the scientific temperament in it. Don't criticize, and keep your values high, and I hope you would succeed in it. I think this information to you is somehow helpful for you guys. Now let's move to the next topic of today's discussion. It is about the Labour Party wins elections in Britain. You know, Rishi Sunak, who was Indian origin British PM, he lost his seat now. Now the PM of Britain is Starmer. He is the new PM. So what does it show to us? How does it impact us? Britain, kahan pe we are living here, there is a huge difference. How does it impact us? If you are the new aspirant of the UPSC, you would question this. अगर यार वहाँ पे कुछ हो रहा है तो हमें क्या लेना देना उसके साथ, हम इधर रह रहे हैं. Let us live, let us worry about our government, let's worry about our constitution. Why we need to worry about that? But my dear friends, it has the huge impact on you. क्योंकि इससे इम्पैक्ट क्या है? बिकॉज पहली बात, द फॉरेन पॉलिसी में चेंज. हम देखिए जब कोई पार्टी, इट इज़ नॉट लाइक इंडिया का एक अच्छी चीज़ है विच इज़ वेरी पुट मतलब कि हाईएस्ट लेवल पे, कि इंडिया की गवर्नमेंट चाहे कुछ भी हो, इट इज़ फॉरेन पॉलिसी रिमेन्स द सेम. चाहे वो बीजेपी आए गवर्नमेंट में, चाहे कांग्रेस आए, चाहे और गवर्नमेंट आए, इंडिया की फॉरेन पॉलिसी हमेशा सेम रही है. बट इन अदर कंट्रीज इट इज़ नॉट लाइक दैट. अदर कंट्रीज की फॉरेन पॉलिसी डिफरेंट होती है विद द चेंज इन द पार्टी विच इज़ रूलिंग. फॉर एग्जांपल जब कंजर्वेटिव पार्टी रूल में होती है, दे हैव वेरी गुड, you know, they support India, they have very good relation with India. But Labour Party, they had been sometimes not that good with India. For example, during when Article 370 was put down, they talked about it. They talked about that violation of human rights in Kashmir. So we have to look into this. मतलब कि इस चीज़ में हमें देखना है कि how our relationship with the new government in Britain will work. And अगर हम देखा जाएंगे, there were some positive message given through the manifesto of the Labour Party. They had कि हम इंडिया के साथ कैसे ट्रेड करना चाहेंगे, how they would like to favor India and all that. But there are some issues which concern India because of the illegal migration to UK जो इंडिया से हो रही है, मतलब that is impacting UK very badly. Also it is we have to discuss about the negotiations on free trade agreement, वो जो अभी भी चल रहा है, जो कब का ख़त्म होना चाहिए, but they are still going on. So there is much to discuss about it. It has huge impact on our economy also. We have to discuss about the carbon tax which was brought by them. We have to discuss about the climate issues. We have to discuss about the immigration issues. Also, India and UK is a key partner in Indo-Pacific. So there are some common concerns. For example, China, it is a common concern to us. And also अगर हम देखेंगे जो UK की इकोनॉमी है post when they moved away from the EU, it has been very much stagnant. मतलब ये मतलब उतना बढ़ नहीं रहा है because of its failure to cope from the COVID-19 issues. या बाकी सारी चीज़ें it did not did so well in it. So there are many things to be discussed, and this was the brief idea about how our coming years could be, how our relationship could be. So let's leave it here and move to the next topic. Here we have to discuss about the resurgence of far right in Europe. If you know, we already discussed about this article in our previous class, that rise of revival of neo-fascism. You know, in the previous class we discussed about how this fascism could impact, how this neo-fascism could impact the world, how it has impacted the world then when it rose to it from by its in its original position in 1990, in 1920s, or we can say after the World War I, how it rose. So we are seeing the similarity in the rise of neo-fascism. We see the whole world is concerned about it. For example, we see AFD party in Germany, we see the Meloni ma'am, everybody knows her in India. In Italy, she is also the far right thinking she has. So these people, they have different approach. For example, they are against, they are anti-migrants. This could lead to the xenophobia, which we can translate as, for मतलब कि टूरिस्टों का वो टूरिस्टों से डर और फिर उसके रिएक्शन में उनके खिलाफ actions lena by the locals. This could lead to the xenophobia, this could lead to the racism, because their main aim is against the immigration. They are against immigration, as we already discussed in our previous class. So this is the concern for the countries like India also. This could rise because our diaspora is there, our people are living there. This could their economy is dependent in there, so this could affect them in a bad way. So there is much to discuss about this article. We had already discussed it. If you want to know more about it, please refer to the earlier classes of mine. You would find this topic in detail in there. अगर हम रिकैप करेंगे इसके बारे में, रिवाइवल ऑफ न्यू फैसिज्म वी हैड ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड फ्रॉम वर्ल्ड वॉर वन के बाद कैसे फैसिज्म आया था, हाउ इट लेड टू द वर्ल्ड वॉर टू, हाउ इट लेड टू द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द लीडर्स लाइक नाजी हिटलर, एंड उनका आइडिया कैसा था, वो टोटलिटेरियन अप्रोच उनका, वो मैनिपुलेशन वाला, वो जब हिटलर बात करता था तो लोग रोते थे, मतलब उस टाइप का वो मैग्नेनिमस अप्रोच ऑफ द लीडर. देन हाउ डज इट कंसर्न द एंटायर वर्ल्ड, क्योंकि सारे डर रहे कि सेम सिचुएशन शुड नॉट कम अगेन, मतलब कि वो कहीं और ना हो जाए. देन वी सी द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ AFD पार्टी इन जर्मनी, दे आर द फार राइट विंग. देन वी सी मेलोनी मैम इन इटली, शी इज द फार राइट लीडर इन देयर. उस वक्त उनका एट दैट टाइम दे वर अगेंस्ट एंटी सोशल, वो मतलब कि उस वक्त मतलब कि अगेंस्ट सोशलिस्ट अप्रोच था उनका उस वक्त. नाउ देयर अप्रोच इज अगेंस्ट immigration. So this against immigration, it has huge impact on India, because our diaspora is living in European countries and they are providing they are helping us in building our economy. So this could lead to the problems with India also. उनके साथ problem हो जाएगी. They will face xenophobia, they will face racism, and it does have the impact on India too. So let's move to the next article. It talks about the PM's visit to Russia. As we had already discussed about it, yet there are many things to be discussed in this article, and there would be many things which would come by time when this visit will be officially done. So this is proposed to happen on 8th and 9th July. there are concerns from the West countries that India has not taken its proper stand on Russia-Ukraine war. They had not criticized Russia for attacking Ukraine. So there is that concern from the West, and also this date also coincides with the date of the NATO summit which is hosted in USA parallelly. So इससे क्या आइडिया मिलता है कि द वेस्ट वाज अगेन मतलब वेरी मच एंग्री क्या उनका ये था कि यार इंडिया हमारे साथ India is not doing well with us because हमारा NATO चल रहा था. It gives a message कि we are with Russia. But our foreign minister, he clarified it that we are not something to, हम वेस्ट और रशिया को अलग नहीं करते हैं, बट हमारा अप्रोच है मल्टी अलाइनमेंट. जहाँ हमें फ़ायदा मिलेगा वहाँ हम जाएंगे. वी आर नॉट अगेंस्ट एनीबडी, वी आर विद एवरीबडी. दैट इज़ व्हाट आवर फॉरेन मिनिस्टर सेड. In this visit, there are many things would be discussed. For example, we have a civil nuclear energy cooperation between India and Russia that might be discussed. We have space cooperation that might be discussed, and we have top supplier of defense. Russia is the top supplier of defense. For example, S-400 helicopters. That there would be things discussed about them. So this was about this article about PM's visit to Russia. There would be more about it in coming classes, trust me, and do stay with me. Do subscribe this channel. It would give me the energy to make more videos for you guys. Now the next topic of today's discussion is rise in domestic defense industry. Here we see there has been a phenomenal growth of India's domestic defense industry. We see the report was released by the Ministry of Defense. It presented the data. Whatever does the data say? 1.27 lakh crore rupees has been increased. The growth has been invested in it. The growth of 16.7% has been seen in the domestic industry. And also इस 16.7% में what does we see जो ये पूरा मतलब कि इसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट अगर देखेंगे या अगर हम देखेंगे बिकॉज ऑफ होम इट इज पब्लिक सेक्टर का इन्वेस्टमेंट इसमें 79.2% एंड ऑल्सो प्राइवेट सेक्टर इज कंट्रीब्यूटिंग इन इट विच इज 19.8%. ऑल्सो वी सी जंप इन इंडियाज डिफेंस एक्सपोर्ट्स विच इज 32% जंप. तो हमारा एक्सपोर्ट यूजुअली जाता है टू फिलीपाइंस, टू आर्मेनिया, इंडोनेशिया एंड अदर कंट्रीज लाइक दैम. So this is about the rise of domestic defense in Indian industry. There is growth of 16.7% and export jump in 32.32%. So this is the most important thing to remember in this article. Moving forward, we have African swine fever. We see this fever in Kerala. Pigs found with this fever, and it is a viral fever. The cause of this viral fever is S-Viridae. It is a virus which causes this viral fever. So pig farmers found in the Kerala had found this. They had found this disease. So there has been a quarantine going on. Culling of the infected has been going on. So this is they are trying to control the spread of African swine fever. Otherwise, if it is not controlled well, it could hurt farmers significantly. So it is very important for them to control it. In this article, we just need to know that African swine fever is a viral fever. It is caused by the S-Viridae, ASFARVIRRADAE, S-Viridae viral virus which causes this African swine fever. Moving forward, we have another topic. It is about People's Biodiversity Report. It is a small topic. In it we have to remember a few things. It is the Kerala became the first state in India to have it. I will ask you a question here. From last few classes, anything which is good is happening in Kerala. For example, हमने कल देखा computer literacy के बारे में, highest in Kerala. Whatever is highest and that is good, we often see it in Kerala. So what do you think? What is the reason for that? This is something different to discuss. Now let's come back to this article. We have this People's Biodiversity Report. It is a local level report, at panchayat level institutions or municipalities it is done. It is led by the citizens which do this analysis of all that, and they frame the report about how the biodiversity is at the local level, and this report will help the policymakers to make the policies with respect to the state or with respect to the area they this people's biodiversity report is given in. So this is how it would help. In this article we have to know that Kerala became the first state in India to have it. It is the panchayat level institution, or we can say municipality level. It is local level institution. It is led by the citizens, helpful for the policymakers. These are few things which are very easy to remember, and these are small articles. Usually prelims based questions would come from such articles. Coming to the last this last topic of today's discussion, it talks about Russia defense deal. It was signed. India and Russia signed a contract in 2021 in which Russia will transfer rifles AK-203. These rifles would be domestically produced, but right now because we lack the technology, so the technology is coming from Russia initially, and in coming years it will be fully produced in India by time. So these AK rifles, they would be given to the security guards all over the country, or it would be used by many forces in India. So it is about the so a question like this would come in, and for example I would translate it as the AK rifle AK-203 is transferred to India from which country? It is Russia. So with this we conclude today's discussion. We had discussed the 8 articles so far, and let's recap a little bit as usual. We discussed about the religion and the judiciary. We discussed how judiciary should not interfere in the essential features, rather it should put the constitution should be given the highest level. A constitution, if the religion, any activity in a religion goes against the constitution, that should be called null and void, and if it is in line with the constitution, that should be followed. Then after it talks about the Labour Party winning the election in Britain, it talks about how it might change the foreign relations, how it would impact us, and what can we do to improve it. Then it talks then the next topic which we discussed about is the resurgence of war-wing, in the revival of neo-fascism, concern for entire world, concern for India also. Then we discussed about the PM's visit to Russia 8th and 9th. It is concerns among West countries that India has not criticized Russia, and how would this at the same time there is NATO summit going on in USA. So there is the perspective which is going on that is different. Then we have India's defense growth in India's defense, which is 16.7%, and exports growth is 32%. Then we discussed about African swine fever in Kerala, led by S. fariviridae virus, usually found in pigs. Then we discussed about Kerala became the first state in India to bring out the People's Biodiversity Report, and then we discussed about AK-203 rifle, which is transferred from the Russia, which is being built indigenously in India, but due to lack of the technology, we are getting technological support from Russia right now, but in coming years it would fully be built by India itself, in India itself.